Caitlin Clark was supposed to be grateful just to be in the building, grateful for the opportunity, grateful to sit at the end of the bench and learn from the legends. But instead of waiting, it looks like she may be doing something no one saw coming. According to growing rumors, the biggest star women's basketball has seen in decades is quietly pulling away from Team USA. And the most shocking part? The league's own commissioner may have confirmed exactly why.
WNBA finals, and so I'll leave it there. I mean, I'm just obviously disheartened. I'm a human too. I have a family. I have two kids who are devastated by these comments, and so all I'll say is just, it's obviously been a tough week.
This story didn't start with a scandal. It started with a list. When Team USA announced its Olympic roster for Paris, one name was missing. The name's selling out arenas, driving record TV ratings, and bringing millions of new eyes to the league. Caitlin Clark wasn't on the list. The explanation was experience, chemistry, veterans who had earned it. But almost nobody bought that excuse. Because while the committee talked about fit, the world was watching Clark drop logo threes, pile up assists, and completely reshape the league's attention overnight. Leaving her off the roster didn't feel like strategy. It felt like a message. You might be famous, you might be profitable, but you're not one of us yet. And that message didn't stop there. Once the season tipped off, the tone around Clark changed fast. What should have been a celebratory rookie year turned into open season, blindside hits, excessive contact, constant pressure that crossed the line from competitive to personal. And the league's response was silence. Fouls weren't upgraded. Suspensions came late, if at all. It felt like everyone was watching the same thing, but only the fans were reacting. The message became impossible to ignore. If you're Caitlin Clark, you're on your own. But things didn't explode until the commissioner spoke. In a CNBC interview that instantly went viral for all the wrong reasons, Commissioner Kathy Engelbert was asked about the growing toxicity around Clark. The hate, the online attacks, the ugliness that clearly went beyond basketball. Instead of condemning it, she pivoted. She smiled. She compared it to Magic versus Bird. She framed the tension as a rivalry that was good for business. In one moment, she reduced a real personal situation into a marketing talking point. That was the spark. Because what she didn't say mattered more than what she did. There was no firm line, no defense of the player carrying the league's momentum, no acknowledgement that some things go too far. The message came through loud and clear. As long as people are watching, the league is fine with the chaos. For Clark, that moment likely changed everything. You can take physical hits, you can take criticism, but when the person in charge treats your struggles like a revenue stream, loyalty starts to crack. The backlash was immediate. Players spoke up. The Players Association distanced itself. Veterans had to say what the commissioner wouldn't, that hate has no place in the game. But the damage was already done. Imagine being the reason charter flights exist, the reason TV deals explode, the reason salaries are climbing, and then hearing your boss imply that the storm around you is just part of the show. That's not leadership, that's abandonment. And it fed directly into a deeper issue that's been simmering for years. Team USA has always been a closed circle. Same names, same friendships, same hierarchy. For more than a decade, it worked. But Clark didn't just arrive. She disrupted. She brought attention the old system wasn't built to handle. Rumors started circulating that certain veterans didn't want the Clark circus changing the balance. It wasn't about basketball. It was about spotlight. When Diana Taurasi warned that reality was coming for Clark, it sounded like a challenge. Instead, it aged badly as Clark broke rookie records and led the league in assists. The Olympic snub wasn't about readiness. It was about control. And then came the moment that exposed everything. The WNBA All-Star Game. Clark and the other stars versus Team USA. For months, the committee insisted there wasn't enough time to build chemistry with her, that her style wouldn't fit, that the system mattered more. Then the game happened. Clark's team played fast, free, connected. Team USA looked slow, disjointed, out of sync. The excuse collapsed in real time. It wasn't about fit. It was about ego. That was the moment speculation turned serious. Because why would Clark fight to join a system actively resisting her? Behind the scenes, the whispers got louder. According to insiders, Clark isn't sulking about Paris. She's recalibrating. She understands something now that changes the entire power dynamic. She doesn't need Team USA. The ratings follow her. The jerseys sell because of her. The attention moves where she moves. Walking away wouldn't be emotional. It would be strategic. If the culture doesn't change, neither will her participation. That's not quitting, that's leverage. And the timing couldn't be worse for the league. Before Clark arrived, the WNBA struggled financially. Since she was drafted, attendance jumped over 40%. Ratings tripled. A historic media deal followed. That money pays for everything players are enjoying now. The irony is brutal. She's treated like an outsider, while everyone else cashes the checks she made possible. If she decides to focus only on her team and skip the national program, the league loses its most powerful marketing engine heading into Los Angeles 2028. And that's where panic sets in. The LA Olympics are supposed to be the crowning moment for women's basketball. Home soil, global attention, cultural takeover. But without Caitlin Clark, it's just a tournament. Talented, yes, but not transcendent. She brings casual fans, non-basketball viewers. Without her, the moment shrinks. The commissioner knows this, which makes the earlier comments even more damaging. You can't downplay someone's experience and then beg for their star power later. There's also the ongoing commentary problem. Certain former players have repeatedly moved the goalposts on Clark's success. Records questioned, achievements minimized, even false claims allowed to circulate without correction. And the league kept those voices front and center. For Clark, that's another signal. Disrespect doesn't always come as an attack. Sometimes it comes as silence when lies are told about you. What makes this situation even louder is what hasn't happened. No statement from her camp, no denial, no proud to represent my country quote. In this business, silence is rarely accidental. It suggests real conversations are happening behind closed doors. Clark doesn't need the Olympics to be global. The Olympics need her to stay relevant to younger audiences. That imbalance changes everything. Then there's the physical toll. Clark played through relentless pressure all season. More minutes, more contact, more attention. She carried the weight of expectations while absorbing hit after hit. And instead of protection, she got a commissioner who framed the chaos as entertainment. At some point, self-preservation kicks in. Choosing rest, focus, and long-term health over a system that didn't want you anyway isn't weakness. It's clarity. The fan base is already split. Longtime fans argue the league was fine before her. New fans see a star being mistreated. Instead of uniting both sides, leadership widened the gap. If Clark walks, those new fans walk with her. Ratings don't follow tradition. They follow interest. And interest follows Caitlin Clark. There's a tragic layer to all of this. Clark grew up dreaming of wearing that jersey. She wanted to be the next legend, to be embraced by the very system she idolized. Instead, she learned how politics, jealousy, and gatekeeping work at the highest level. It's a loss of innocence, not just for her, but for the sport. The committee proved the system could win without her, and they did. But they missed the moment. In today's world, moments matter more than medals. So now the league stands at a crossroads. Fix the relationship or lose it. That means real accountability, not corporate apologies. Real protection, real acknowledgement. Because Clark doesn't need the WNBA to exist. But the WNBA desperately needs her to thrive. They had a golden ticket and may have torn it in half. If Caitlin Clark truly walks away from Team USA, it won't be loud. It won't be dramatic. It'll be calm, professional, and devastating. She was told to wait her turn. Instead, she realized her worth. And once that happens, there's no going back. The question now isn't whether the league can survive without her. It's whether they can afford to find out.